Hey guys, Nashi here again, and I wanted to do a video response to a video that Eric Landon RPG did a few weeks ago, basically asking, what was your first RPG that got you into the RPG genre, got you hooked. Wanted to do that, but I wanted to do my own little twist on it and make it into my top 3 Tuesday video with the 3 games that basically shaped my RPG love. One of them is the first game RPG I ever played on a console. So, his was Final Fantasy Legend 2. He borrowed it from a friend when he was in school. Played it for a while. He never played anything like that. It kind of blew his mind. And he gave it back, and he finally just got the game back after so many years. And so that was his. So I want to do the top 3 for Top 3 Tuesday of the games that shaped me and the first RPG I've ever played. So my number 3 game is Legend of Zelda. So my friend Vincent across the street, he had a Nintendo. He had a Nintendo before I did, and went over there and played games. He had Gyromite and Mario Brothers with Duck Hunt, and those were the only 3 games he had for a while. And then he got this gold cart. It blew me away to see a gold cart like that, and so put it in there, and it just like, wow, I was really into fantasy, and I played very light Dungeons and Dragons with some friends when I was just a kid, and just the whole concept of finding new weapons and shields and bombs and everything, and going exploring, and we found the first dungeon, and then defeated the dungeon, and getting a boomerang and everything, and then the little things that you can unlock more with the more equipment you have, and different equipment, the bombs to find secret places and get more heart containers, those whole concepts just really blew me away, and I loved this game. This game was absolutely great. It was one of my favorite games on the NES, and just looking back at this world map, it's just great, all the memories of this, and we put in so many hours into this game. Loved it. So this Legend of Zelda, number 3. Okay, number 2 on the list is the second RPG that I've ever played, and that would be Final Fantasy. Now this game blew me away. Just the whole concept of getting 4 characters together, different classes, or all the same class. It just blew me away that you could do that. They had examples in the book of what combinations you could try, and it was just so great. I decided to do a party of all magic users, or do a party of just all warriors or fighters, and see how far I could get, and that created my own difficulty for me. And I absolutely loved it. And this whole series really started a massive series. Everyone knows Final Fantasy series. It's probably the most popular RPG series in the United States. I would argue about different ones for Japan, but Final Fantasy was absolutely massive. Their storytelling was far superior than almost every other one out there. On the Super Nintendo, Final Fantasy 2 and 3, those ones really stepped up the game. Of course, it was 4 and 6 everywhere else. 6 is by far my favorite Final Fantasy game of all time. Just the music, the pixel art, and just whenever Terra's theme comes on and she's riding in the mech, it just was such a great game. We had a lot of great feelings, but this one right here, this got me into loving Final Fantasy. And it stuck with me for a long time. So this right here really did shape a lot of my gaming right here. So that is my number 2 game. So my friend Vincent, the one that I played Legend of Zelda with, he told me that if you get a subscription to Nintendo Power, they'll send you a free NES game. So, he gave me one of the cards and everything. I'm like, Mom, please let me have a subscription to Nintendo Power. And, they're going to give me a free game. Please do it. And, well, she did it. So I got a subscription, and in the mail came a game. And, it was Dragon Warrior. This was the very first RPG I've ever played. Its little nuances carry from game to game, which is just amazing to me that, the first game that first thing you ever kill in the game, a slime, this little guy right here, is carried on all the way out to number 11. It's basically an icon of the game now. A lot of the creatures that are in this game are in all the other games. Same with the art. The art is actually done by the guy who did all the Dragon Ball Z characters and everything. And, he didn't obviously do this one. This is pretty cheesy art. Us Americans can't actually handle the, anime style art back then. And I just remember, walking out of the city and just, what do I do now? Where do I go? And just exploring around and having these random encounters. I had a little sheet of paper and I would track, and when I started the game, track every single slime I killed, every single one of these I killed, and I tracked the experience, and I started writing all that stuff down, making all the notes and everything, and saying, oh, I need this much experience to get this far. And I would grind to figure out how far it takes to get to each level. And yeah, I put in so many hours. I had my Nintendo over at my grandparents' house, and I would just go over there and just a little tiny black and white TV playing away at this game for hours on end. And it really did have an effect on me. I really did enjoy this game. Unfortunately, I did not know there was a Dragon Warrior 2, 3, or 4. I didn't have a lot of games when I was growing up, NES games, and the ones I did have, I played a lot out of. And I still don't have all the other games. I still need to get them. All the NES ones. Eric Landon RPG, he did give me Dragon Warrior 1 and 2 on Game Boy, which I really do appreciate that. That's really awesome of him. And yeah, so this is my number one game. This is the first RPG that I ever played. It had such an impact on my life. My 40th birthday in June, I got my first tattoo ever, and it was the slime. And the game just really meant a lot to me. And just when that intro music starts and just hearing that, oh man, it's beautiful. This is my number one game. So thanks for watching, guys. Those are my top 3 games on Top 3 Tuesday for the top 3 NES games that shaped basically my whole gaming life, and where it brought me to today. And what was your first RPG that you ever played? These were my first 2, and 2 great series. Love it. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in another video. Later, guys.